Life is complicated, but as you go deeper into meditation, things start solving down. Solutions start coming up. What we believed before, more light, more focus, more awareness, makes us realize those beliefs were nothing but illusions, and our ignorance in which all our life we kept on running. The question comes, whole life has been running towards acquiring things. Why do you want to acquire? So you can call them yours. The I that you identify yourself with the body, with the mind, you call it I, me, wants to expand, wants to get bigger, wants to hoard. By hoarding, it feels good that you are bigger. We say, this is my house. Even before you signed the contract, the house belonged to somebody else. And after you're gonna go, house will belong to someone else. If the house was yours, why did you have to pay to get it? Why can't you take it with you wherever you go? The most you can say that you have been granted a permission to use it, and that permission was given in exchange for the money. But the house is not yours. All the people that you call yours, they were total strangers before you married your spouse. They were totally independent people. After you die, or they die, those connections become meaningless. They don't exist. If it was your spouse, how come you can't take them with you? And how come you were separate people before? Because me wants to have mine. I wants to get bigger. We put ownership on everything. Same house, you are putting a stamp of mindness. Life changes. Someone else comes, pays for it. Now he gets to put a new label on it and call it mine. Your label of mineness is gone. Someone else puts their mineness label on the house now. We don't stop there. Material things still may be easy to understand and can be pardoned for this illusion, but the mindness extends even more. My religion. Religion is not a thing. It's an abstract concept. and we call it mine. Why? Because we feel good. We identify ourselves with the religion. We call ourselves Christian, Hindu, Muslim. What is yours? Thousands of years ago, this religion never existed. And there are a lot of religions have dwindled down into nothingness. Religions come, religions go, but we call them my religions because it makes you feel good, makes your ego feel good. And things were still can be pardoned as ignorance, but we even call our breath ours. Every second you are breathing from outside, same oxygen, nitrogen molecules which are coming from outside, they are not yours. They are coming from the environment. Just because it stays in your body, we call it my breath. In 1 second, you breathe in and you breathe out. The same breath becomes somebody else's breath. And he or she calls it their own breath. We are putting ownerships on everything. And yet the reality is nothing yours. Ownership itself is an ignorant concept. We are stamping this illusion on everything. My ideas, my beliefs. Where did these ideas come from? Where did these thoughts come from? Everything is coming from outside. You never had your original idea. Somebody thinks of it, you read about it, then start thinking about it. Idea is just passing through you. Religion is an idea. Everything that you have acquired after you were born is an outside knowledge. You become a doctor. Now you call yourself a doctor. Who made you doctor? The knowledge of a doctor comes from outside. Somebody had to teach you. This is all acquired knowledge. That's not yours. Ownership is the illusion we are living in, and the whole society is living in this illusion. Fine. If you could live with that illusion happily, it still would be all right. But things don't stop there. Ownership becomes a weapon with which you can fight. Wars have been fought on a beautiful face. Wars have been fought. Ownership of a fort. People. Thoughts, ideas. These are not yours, but we call them ours. With every object, person, situation, or thoughts or beliefs that we call it ours, now they become objects of protection. First you have to acquire them. You struggle. Then it becomes yours. Then the struggle doesn't end. Now you have to protect them. This protection requires 24/7 surveillance. And if somebody does snatch it away, and there are people, You fight. You fight till you die. You die for a religion which was a concept. How ignorant a man can be. So acquisition, holding on to it, all these things take a toll just because you are living in the ignorance of ownership. Ownership is an illusion. There is nothing like ownership. Every single person, every single object exists in their own individuality. House is by itself. Its owners can come and go, but the house stays the same by itself. A piece of land, whether how many people for thousands of years can come and put a claim on it, it does not change the land. Land stays where it is. If you really think of from the point of view of the land would be laughing as owners keep on coming, bet thousands of dollars on that piece of land. And at one time, before the humans came, nobody was claiming this land. Everybody was sharing the same universal gifts. Deers did not claim it. Animals did not claim it. Dinosaurs did not claim it. The stupidity of ownership came only after the humans. So the piece of land will be laughing. These owners have kept coming and going. So the concept of ownership exists only because of our ego. Our first sin is the I. What we define ourselves as the body and the mind is our biggest illusion. Our body we call ours, but it is changing right in front of us. You remember you were a child, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 20-year-old, 30, 40, whatever. You have seen yourself, and you can still remember playing with a bike, playing with friends, going through the childhood, hormonal changes, attracted to the opposite sex, married, children. All these are experiences. Who is watching it? Who is aware of all these experiences? Body has changed right in front of you. How is it yours? Every single molecule of the body belonged to the environment. The carbon, the nitrogen, the oxygen, and all trace elements all came from somewhere else. And they existed even before you were born. Same molecules are being utilized to make your body, not just one time, every single second. You are depending on the oxygen molecules from outside, carbon and nitrogen for food. All these things are continuous process, and you are the observer of it. So where is the ownership? Body is not yours. Same way, mind is not yours. Your ideas, your thoughts came from somewhere else. You are the observer. You are the witness. At that level, you are just you. Just the way house was house, land was land. Everybody in this world are in their own. You are the soul. your thoughts, your ideas have happened because of your association with the world. It's like superimposition. In Sanskrit, they call this abhyas, which is a beautiful word. Abhyas is a continuous contact, makes you an illusion that you are that. Just like if a diamond is pure, but you put it next to a red silk, it picks up the hue, the red hue color of the silk, and the diamond appears red. But it's not really red. Diamond is diamond. So the redness is superimposed upon the diamond. For example, if there is a beautiful lake, serene, and there is a moon that has risen and it's being reflected onto the serene surface of the lake, one day it comes, next day it's gone. Clouds come and clouds go, it hides. But imagine, supposing there are no clouds, supposing there are no days, and the reflection of the moon remains permanent. After a long time, the lake will start believing that the moon is within itself. It will associate itself with the borrowed light from the moon, borrowed image of the moon. It will appear as part of the lake itself. That's what has happened to us, because our mind and the body has been with us. We start calling it as us. And that is the first sin. That is the eating of an apple, forbidden apple. Because after the I-ness, mindness starts. Thinking that you are body, and the mind wants to make it bigger. And once the bad seed is planted in the soil, the whole tree bears the poisonous fruits. These poisonous fruits are the sufferings of the mind, sufferings of the body, and the sufferings of life. We carry this burden of sufferings because we made the first sin of calling the body and mind as us. So dhyan breaks this illusion by careful analysis and realization that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the observer of the body and the mind. Mind is your shadow. You can't take the shadow for real. You and the shadow are still separate. Just because the shadow has been with you, you cannot believe that you are the shadow. You cannot remove it. It's always going to be there. You just have to realize that you and the shadow are two separate things. So go deep, rise above the mind, which is holding on to these concepts of I-ness. All the things that you have in your life, whether it's your objects, people, situations, children, spouses, houses, cars, they are not yours. Realize that they are gifted to you for use. You are the temporary user. You have user privileges, but it's not yours. Once you realize that, your dog, you're running, will slow down, and sense of gratitude will start rising within you, that you have a privilege to use this not as an owner, but only as a receiver of the gift. Even the breath that's coming in is a gift to you. Your eyes are gifted to you to see this beautiful world. So whatever comes in your life is a gift that's given to you. So be in a gratitude mode, be humble. Do not try to extend your ego. Realize that ego is false. It's an illusion. Dissolve the ego and you meet the God, the total consciousness, which is everywhere. The ego never existed before humans. In a primitive form, maybe in animals, but they did not have a capacity to understand ego as an illusion. Humans have the capacity to meditate, reflect on this, and find out your own true inner consciousness, your Atma, the soul, which is part of total consciousness. Rise above it. Enjoy the freedom. Give up the ownership. Things come, things go. Everyone, every soul has their own destination. While we are together, we live in harmony, help each other to the best possible way, but give up the ideas of ownerships. Husbands trying to change wives, wives trying to change husbands, parents trying to change children, children trying to change parents. All these are manifestations of ownerships. Come out of these illusions, come out of the frictions, come out of sufferings, and enjoy the total bliss. Have a good day.